Alright, smash it out nice and fast. Hey drummers, how's it going? It's Alex once again, bringing you some more fun-free drumming ideas. For this one, I've got a great quick little exercise which I want to share with you. It's really good for beginners, not if you're sort of just starting out, but if you want to sort of develop your single strokes, discover the sort of thing you can do with triplets, accents, and then ultimately it's going to be about nailing that bass drum and that left hand up on the crash, which I notice quite a few students are having a little bit of trouble with. And we've sort of nicked this idea from No Unknowns by Queens of Stone Age, drummed by the infamous Dave Grohl. So if you like what you saw in the intro, and you want to give this one a crack, stick around. I'll break it down. Here we go. All right, so this exercise is actually going to be about 8 bars long, just to give us a little bit of time to settle on each pattern. What I'll do is if I just go through each one individually, they follow a very sort of simple structure. So we start off by sort of playing triplets with accents, so 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, where your right hand's always going to be accenting on the first and the third triplet, and your left hand's going to always accent on the second and the fourth triplet. What we'll then do is we'll start off just by putting a crash, or in my case a trashy ride cymbal, on beat 1. Then we'll put it on beat 1 and 3, so we're focusing more on that right hand. And then we're going to see if we can get it on beat 1, beat 2, beat 3. All the others, so it's going to be 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet. So every time you're saying triplet, they're always going to be played on the snare. And you're either going to engage that with right, left, or left, right, depending on which triplet you're on. So we're going to start off by basically putting 1 crash per bar, then 2 crashes per bar, then 3 crashes per bar, and then we'll finish off with 4 crashes per bar, and then you can loop the whole sequence around again, and hopefully sort of start, increasing that hand speed the more you practice this. And it's really good for your stick control, your hand speed, getting your accents in there. So we'll be flicking the wrist when we're doing the accents to get those certain notes to pop, and then of course we'll be stretching out and hitting the different parts of the kit. In this case, the crashes, just to sort of work on that coordination. So if we just go through the first pattern, and it is simply 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet. Let's just turn it down here. I might be a bit quieter now. So every time I'm saying 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, we're going to accent that just so we can get the flow of where the beats or the pulse would sit when playing these little patterns of 3. So we're going to have this right 2, 3, left 2, 3, right 2, 3, left 2, 3, and then we repeat right 2, 3, left 2, 3, right 2, 3, left 2, 3. And every time you're going to hit a cymbal, so you want to have at least 2 crashes going on here. It's going to make life a little bit easier. So you've got one on your right hand side and one on your left hand side, and that's where you're going to be sort of moving up to when it comes to that hand's turn to go and pop a crash. So let's just go through the first pattern a little bit faster. 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet. All right, so that's really simple. That's the first 2 bars. The second 2 bars is we're then going to play just another crash with the right hand on the third triplet. So it's going to be 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet. So you get that nice moment where you're going to get bass drum and crash followed by the accent on the left hand, bass drum and crash, then another accent on my left hand. So one more time. Right 2, 3, left 2, 3, right 2, 3, left 2, 3. Really sort of like go for it with those accents. You want those to stand out so you get used to that sort of different action of playing like a big snap of your wrist and then the ones in between where you're sort of almost tapping them, just to give yourself a bit of dynamics. So, and it sort of highlights the pulse a little bit. So let's just try pattern number 2 a little bit faster. 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 1. All right, moving on to the third pattern. We're now going to sort of add our left hand up to the crash. So now we're going to accent on the crashes beat 1, beat 2, then beat 3, and then number 4, we're still just going to hit the snare drum, which should be an accent with your left hand. So you can get this 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet. Now, like I said, where we've been going through No One Knows by Queens of the Stone Age, we've been going through this little pattern, and this is the exercise we've been using to sort of develop that bit of coordination between the left hand and the bass drum. Because I noticed quite a few people were relying on sort of every time they want to hit the kick, it wants to land with the right hand. So you sort of get this. And it wasn't quite sounding right, so we had to spend a little bit of time just going 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet. okay? Because you want that perfect connection between bass drum and crash, otherwise it's just going to sound a little bit off and it's not going to be clean, and that's kind of what you want, especially when you're going to be ploughing through this particular little sequence up to tempo. So let's just go back to, what was this, pattern number 3. So it's going to be 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet. All right, so now we move on to pattern 4, and this is just simply going to be bass triplet, bass triplet, bass triplet, bass triplet. Okay, so you've got alternating hands going to the bass drum and the crash each time. So 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, right triplet, left triplet, right triplet, left triplet, right. Okay, and again, if you struggle with pattern number 3, then this one's going to be a bit of a nightmare. But if you just want to practice just that coordination between the right foot and the left hand, just probably sit on this one. It's the best one. And then it's just the fun of going through the exercise. And this is pretty much what he plays in that guitar solo section on No One Knows. So if you've ever wondered about that, this is pretty much what's going on. All right, so let's pop up there. I'll play it nice and slowly, then medium tempo, and then I'll smash it out nice and fast. And then I'll come and say goodbye. So here we go. Nice and slow. Let's put the snare on and go a tiny bit faster. Right, so I'm going to take the snare up because I like the sound of it, but what I'll do this time is I'll go a bit faster and I'll play it a couple of times through. So here we go. Nice and fast, here we go. Alright drummers, there it is. I hope you enjoyed that lesson. Thank you very much for watching. If you did like it, please hit that little like button. It does help. I think it sort of bumps me up in the ratings and helps me get a few more views. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button if you enjoyed these lessons and you want to see more future content, and hit that little bell icon which will notify you of that new content every time we bring out a new lesson. Again, if you do like the sort of stuff we're doing here, like the kind of lessons I knock out, then do consider my website, and there's a link in the description below. If you're brand new to drumming, we've got loads of courses for you. We've got the quick start guide, and that sort of starts developing into sort of bridging the gap between beginner and intermediate. We've got tons of lessons or tons of hours of stuff for you guys, and then we've also got some fun little ideas for you sort of more advanced drummers as well. So that's pretty much all I need to say. So take care, keep drumming, and I'll see you very soon with some more fun-free drumming ideas. All right, see you later. Bye. Memories of the time when the troubles were weightless.